Well, it's day 5, it's the last day of the challenge, and I really want to commend you all for really going deep with this money story, really trying to find the root cause of where your money blocks are coming from. I was talking to a client today, and we were talking about how on the surface we tend to do the same thing every day. You know, we're doing the same thing. We get up, we eat, we do the same thing, we day in, day out, day in, day out. And doing that never really leaves a space to actually look at what's going on behind us, you know, where these stories are coming from and what actually is that money story. So by now, over these 5 days, hopefully you've actually learnt what your money story is, you know, what your relationship to money is, where it came from. So, you know, we've had a look back at our family history and, you know, how we grew up as children, where that story, money story was laid down on top of us. You know, I've also given you a few techniques to get that story out, you know, writing it down, dear mum, dear dad. We've also talked about drawing out that money story. You know, and I have also talked about, you know, tapping into what it is you desire to have instead. So really, to wrap up our last day of the challenge, you now have a choice. Awareness is the very first step of any transformation, but awareness is not always just enough. It is now time to make a choice of what you want going forward. So now that you worked out what you desire, what you don't want, you know, if any of you listen to Abraham Hicks, you've seen the contrast. The contrast of what you don't want shows you what you do want. You know, clearly what we're here for is we don't want to live in lack of money anymore. We don't want to live in fear of money anymore. What we desire to have, what we do want, is to have more money in our worlds. We want to have that abundance. We want to have good feelings around money. So today, make a choice. How do you want to go forward about your money story? Do you want to stay back there in that story? You know, stay back in the belief that you can't make enough money, that you can't afford this, you can't afford that. Now, I know I make that sound simplistic, but I'm telling you now, there are times when I have just made the choice to no longer accept to live in that money story, to no longer have fear of money control how I show up in the world. So making a choice. The other thing I really want to encourage you is that there are a range of modalities that you can use to even further enhance getting rid of those money blocks and clearing them. Now, these are modalities that I can't do here on the video. I'd love to, but you know, there's many of you watching and it needs to be very specific and personal to you. And I'd love to be able to share that with you, because I tell you what, when you get to a point in your life where you've cleared off most of your money stuff, and I'm saying most because it's never ending, you know, the more we up level, the more that comes up to be looked at, you know, and I'm in no way, shape or form saying that I have solved my money story, whoop, whoop, you know, in 5 days, that's what I did. You know, I've worked a lot one-on-one with coaches to keep improving this money story of mine, to keep improving my money mindset. So what I'd highly recommend is, look, I've got an offer at the moment. You know, it is absolutely free, 30 minutes. There's a link right down the bottom of this page. I've had it on every day. You can take a choice and have a chat with me. 30 minutes of my time for you so that you can help start clearing some of those money blocks. You know, it's the time to take action. You know, you're not watching this video for no reason at all. You know, the universe brought us together to be watching this video today. So know that today is the day to take the next step, make the decision, you know, so we can work together just in a brief 30 minutes. You know, I'm not going to change everything in your world, but give you a taste of what it could be like to really tap into what your money blocks are, where they're coming out from, and let's try and move through them for you. I'll also say too that I've used every modality known to man to look at these money blocks. So, you know, it might be time to book in a kinesiology session. It might be time to have a look at EFT, tapping, you know, emotional freedom techniques. You know, I've used them. I constantly use them. You know, there's a lot more that I can learn about that and use them perhaps even more. But right here, right now, I'm sort of dabbling. You know, NLP techniques, you know, some of the coaching techniques that I've learned from my coaching is some NLP. I used to think that was a really woo-woo kind of thing, but now I know it's actually about reprogramming our subconscious minds. You know, there's some really wonderful things that you could do. You don't have to struggle anymore. You know, you don't have to. No one said when you were born that you had to go through struggle to get to where you are. You know, I know that many of you, and myself included, have gone through the struggle. We've experienced it firsthand. So I also want to acknowledge that yes, you've been there, but you didn't go through that for no reason. You know, you went through that to get here today on this video so that we could connect together. You went through that so that you could make a decision, be really clear about what it is that you do want going forward. So I want to talk now a little bit about vibration. Now, don't go getting any funny stories going on here, but vibration is something that I've learned a lot about over the last few years, and especially in the last few, this year. You know, we as human beings are vibrational creatures. We all vibrate, and I've talked about this a little bit in some of the other videos. Everything around us has a vibrational frequency. Now, again, without going into too much, because I think I might provide another training video on this because I find it so fascinating. When we're feeling fantastic, you know, when we're feeling like all is well, life is good, we're feeling happy, you know, we're really in alignment with ourselves, that's when we vibrate at a higher frequency. When we vibrate at a higher frequency, we actually start allowing ourselves to be open to other like frequencies. And usually that's when the abundance starts coming in. So think about it this way. When we're feeling down, we've got fear, we feel heavy, we feel loaded, we feel unmotivated, that energy, we're vibrating at a very low frequency. Now, whenever you whatever vibration you're giving out is the only vibration you can attract. So guess what else you're attracting? Low vibrational. You know, I was talking to another client today, and we're talking about even where you live can change your vibrational frequency. You know, she's lived in a particular area for most of her life, and she said, I don't feel aligned to it anymore. It brings me down when I drive back into that area, and when I, you know, go to my house. She said, I feel not connected to it anymore. And I was explaining to her that she's probably changed her vibrational frequency. She's open to more. She's at a higher level now. So of course that doesn't feel aligned anymore. But the more that she hangs around still back there, she'll get more of that. So if you choose to hang around over here in the higher vibrational frequency, you get more of that. Now remember back, I told you that money was energy. Money has a vibrational frequency. So if you want to be open to money and to the abundance of money, you need to raise your vibrational frequency. So how do we do that? How do we raise our vibrational frequency? Because I'm telling you now, when you learn how to raise your frequency, even when you're feeling in the pits, this is what allows the abundance to come in. You know, just on a side note, interestingly, I was talking to a client yesterday, and we're talking about, you know, the key to life. If there was the key to life, what would it be? And I said, you know what? It's just be happy. Yeah. At all times, just be happy. And when you're not feeling happy, find something to make yourself happy. Because when we're in a happy place, we start to radiate positivity. When we think positive thoughts, we actually produce serotonin, which is a feel-good hormone. Serotonin is a conductor for all of those neurons in your brain to start talking to each other, and they start having a train of thought that's on a positive motion, and that's when we start to find solutions to everything. When we don't think positive thoughts, we think negativity, and actually brings up cortisol. You know, cortisol, bad for us in many, many ways. One of them, it's an actual inhibitor to positive thought. So vibrational frequency is very much like that. It's like, how can you just be happy each day and raise your vibration so that you are open to receiving what the universe is trying to give you. You know, a lot of the times we're closed off. We're saying, oh no, universe, don't give me that money, subconsciously. Where in actual fact, we know that we want it. So how do you get ready to be able to receive that money? So I've got a few techniques, and it starts with my morning ritual. It's how I wake up. In fact, it's even how I go to bed at night time, getting myself in a frequency of happiness, of abundance, of gratitude, and then waking up that same way. And then, look, I know that the fear is really easy to slip back in, but it's making a choice and saying, thank you, fear. And by the way, write this down. Thank you, fear, for trying to help me. In fact, it's trying to save you. But thank you, fear, for trying to help me. But I choose it's something else. I choose to have abundance. I choose to not look at you. I choose to focus over here. So each morning, what I do, I've told you about my incantations. I've told you how to change your negative statements into your positive statements and say those. You know, affirmations, you know, words, language, very powerful. Say them every day. You know, if it's specifically around money that you really want to focus on, get money orientated. You know, I'll give you an example. It might be, money flows easily towards me. I'm open to abundance. I have more than enough money. I always have more than enough money in my account to pay my bills. Now, I'm going to give you a link to my daily rituals because I've had a lot of success with my clients who've used these and implemented them into their lives. So it's about the daily getting yourself in the vibration and the state. Other things that I do, I light a candle. I might turn on some great music. You know, it's about getting in state. If any of you have watched Tony Robbins before, even the way that he goes on stage, you get into state. It's getting yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, all in this place of being ready and open to receive and going out and getting that abundance. Can you feel the energy that I'm giving you here? It's about your energy. Change your energy. Money's not going to come to you when you're like, oh, I don't know how. I need it. Oh, fear. It's a very, very low vibrational energy. So get yourself into state, whatever it is for you. If you need to be surrounded by beautiful things, if you need to draw an affirmation card, if you need to be doing some EFT and tapping, if you need to listen to a guided meditation, if you need to be sitting there doing 3 minutes or 11 minutes of guided meditation or just meditation, quietening your mind, whatever it is for you each day, you do that every day. Every day. And you get yourself into state and you raise your vibrational frequency. So what I want to say to you for day 5 is now is the time you make a choice and you decide all of the ways that you're going to change your money mindset, because you can do this. You know, it can change. It might have changed already. I know that many of you messaged me the massive shifts already, which is amazing. But let's keep it going. Keep it going. So get yourself a one-on-one coach or mentor. Pick me, I'm here for you. You know, I've said, here's a 30-minute. Seriously, take it up. If you don't, I don't know why you wouldn't. You know, I'm actually going to provide some training at the end of this video on more about how to get yourself into alignment with money and ways of being able to create a new environment for yourself that's not the old masculine way, it's a new feminine way of making beautiful, graceful money in an elegant way that changes lives. You know, it's your choice, it's your time. You know, I really want this for you, but I can't want it more than you want it for yourself. So make a decision. What are you going to do to really cement this money mindset piece? What are you going to do on a daily basis to really move through this fear around money and this self-sabotage around money? Because you're better than this. I'm better than this. You know, here together, we really are in a time and a space that there's never been a better time for women to really go out and make their own money. And I mean great money. I'm not just talking about replacing your salary. There's a really good opportunity to make wonderful, abundant money, even if you're a mother, even if you have a full-time job, even if you only have a couple of days a week to work, even if you don't think you've got skill sets. You know what? We've all been brought here in this time with gifts, and it's time that you brought them out. So make sure you join my training in the video that's going to follow, because I'm going to help bring out your gifts. I'm going to help you see that this is the time for you. This is the time for you to change that money mindset. It's the time for you to bring in more money into your world and to create change in the world in an elegant, graceful, and abundant way. So that's the end of the day 5 challenge. Please let me know how you've gone with the challenge. You know, I'm loving the feedback that we're getting. You know, I really am feeling quite inspired about helping change your mindset around money, like I've done for myself, like I'm continuing to do for myself every day, people. So that's it for the elegance factor, master your money mindset. I truly hope you found some significant shifts and uncovering of where your money story has come from and moving through some of those blocks. And, you know, I implore you to continue on the journey with me. You know, let's be in this together. That, you know, we're not perfect in any way, shape or form. Remember, that's why I've got that. We're not perfect and we never will be, but we can work towards mastering ourselves the best that we possibly could be, so we can show up in the world as the best versions of ourselves. And you know what? When it comes to it, showing up as the best version of ourselves in the world only creates a ripple effect to everybody else, to our children, to their children's children. Like, remember the money story, it goes on for a very long time. You know, imagine the change that you can make now, not just in your own world, not just in your family's world, but in the ripple effect of women around you and women around them, and so on and so forth. You know, this is a really good opportunity for you to have big change in the world. Evangelistical, I don't care. I'm really passionate about helping you. So stay with me, sign up for the newsletter. I look forward to talking to you more. Please talk to me on the Facebook page. You know, I'm here for you. And look, all my blessings to mastering your money mindset.